Picture yourself walking down the hall, about to give some highly critical feedback to a colleague. If you're like most people, your brain immediately flags this upcoming conversation as a threat. You picture the interaction turning sour and the working relationship taking a serious hit. So you do what professionals are trained to do. You put on a brave face, maintain a neutral expression, and suppress the mounting discomfort. But hiding that stress does not neutralize it. Your body is still pumping out adrenaline, and by clamping down on your outward expression, you trap that physical panic inside your own system. There is a different way to handle this friction, using a trainable skill called cognitive reappraisal. Instead of hiding the stress after it hits, you intercept the meaning of the event before your nervous system activates. The narrative you select in the hallway dictates the biological state you enter the room with. We can see the price of the default approach by looking at the data on emotional suppression. This chart shows sympathetic nervous system activation during a stressful event. According to laboratory research by James Gross at Stanford, actively suppressing your emotions causes this steep, immediate spike in physical stress markers. While that stress peaks, your cognitive bandwidth drains. Masking your visible emotion takes constant mental effort, diverting resources away from the task at hand. This results in a measurable drop in memory retention. Because your brain is spending so much energy maintaining a neutral face, you lose the ability to fully encode the details of the conversation. Suppression acts as a persistent cognitive tax, compromising your performance at the exact moment you need to be sharp. Let's rewind back to the hallway and look at a second timeline. This time, you pause at the door and proactively reframe the event. Instead of viewing the feedback as a threat to the relationship, you tell yourself that giving honest feedback is what a colleague who respects them would do. You reframe the threat as a challenge. This shift lowers your sympathetic nervous system activation during the interaction. By changing the meaning, you change the physical response. Because you aren't wasting mental energy trying to hide a panic response, your memory of the meeting remains intact. You have the cognitive space to actually listen and respond. Gross's laboratory studies validated this using distressing films. Participants instructed to reappraise the content before viewing it showed lower physiological arousal and better memory than those who simply tried to hide their reactions. Reappraisal transforms the interaction into a low-cost, efficient mental state, allowing you to maintain peak function during conflict. This skill becomes even more significant when we look across 2 decades, spanning from your 20s to your 40s. Your 20s are the critical window for building this habit. This is when you determine how you will process the workplace and relationship strains that accumulate in the years ahead. 2 decades of suppression result in the elevated cardiovascular and immune strain documented in Gross's follow-up research, which often surfaces by age 40 as unexplained chronic health conditions. Developing the skill now serves as a preventative health measure, ensuring that this daily stress is processed rather than stored. There is a limit to this tool. In a truly toxic scenario, such as an abusive workplace, the boundary for reappraisal is clear. Applying this technique to genuine injustice functions as a form of denial. Reinterpreting verbal abuse as an opportunity for resilience can keep you in a harmful situation longer than you should stay. Real threats should trigger an alarm that prompts you to exit or escalate the issue. Reappraisal is for manageable stress, not for enduring abuse. To test this yourself, identify one stressful event you expect this week. Write down your default threat interpretation, then write a second, equally plausible version that reframes the event as a challenge. Mastering this distinction allows you to separate perceived threats from actual ones, making you the author of your own biological stress response.